I was just directed to look at quote unquote your campgrounds. Okay. You should find it odd that right at 10 a.m. on today that God directed me to go there. So what are you being asked and told at that point? Why haven't you given me a campsite there? I could have been there year round, 14 and a half years. So your president is seeking the death penalty. Apparently, even $6 a night was too much money, as opposed to trillions at this point for a Ramada Inn to be guarded. Well, I explained it. You have profound, profuse mental insanity. So even as I'm trying to navigate these websites that someone's messing with the internet and the phone. Okay. So it's almost like you got caught doing something and then you were trying to hide it after when I just saw it with my own eyes. Are those people on a vacation? Well, I've got things here. I mean, obviously, you can do a Zoom meeting from anywhere on November 4th, but Brian's got appointments that start on the 10th. Because otherwise, what other reason would we even stay in Massachusetts? Because you keep shutting off the income. Like even interfere with us trying to find a place to go that's not whatever it is you think we're supposed to be in a prison, sitting up in a chair in a shelter, laying on the ground in Cambridge, whatever it is you think we're supposed to be doing. You're even interfering with that. You have profound, profuse mental insanity. What's going on with now? You're telling people that they can't, they have to smoke a cigarette inside their vehicle. We don't have a vehicle, and that you can't have a fire pit. You have to use propane. You have profound, profuse mental insanity. One thing I've noticed with these circle things that I told you I didn't like, you can't even get warm from a fire. It's nothing like a traditional fireplace. I know why. I'm asking you why. In your reality, why? You're being forced to self terminate. That's why you keep forcing people to drive and have RVs and have cars and trucks and burn propane. Not you're worried about fire risk or you're worried about people's lungs. And you fly into a panic rage whenever you think I'm going to leave your area because you have profound, profuse mental insanity. Like, this is a tree or I'm your hostage. That way they don't nuke you. You're actively being nuked. You didn't see the sky last night? You're actively being nuked. And you have been. It has nothing to do with any hostage on the entire planet. There's not a single person created that's important, that is that important that they would stop nuking us. Exactly. You're a threat to humanity. There's trains to get to Arizona. So why have you never put us on a train and just had us live on a national forest in Arizona in the winter? Why are we being told to sit up in a chair all night at Father Bill's place or a warming center if there's availability, or sleep on the ground, stand for 2 hours to get into a warming center to lay on mats? Why are you doing that? You have profound, profuse mental insanity, and your president is asking for the death penalty because it's the only way to stop this is to give people the death penalty, because you prevent us from doing things. You charge people money for things, you set up all these ridiculous rules, and you physically show up and tell us we can't be places. So it's the only solution to your profound criminal insanity. No amount of talking, demanding, voting, law enforcement is getting you people to stop what you're doing. It's wit, what I think, and what I think is that at least by 2020, if not before then, your military, NATO, your government deemed you so criminally deranged and so dangerous to mankind that you're being euthanized by thermonuclear weapons. That is exactly what I think is going on. You were told specifically to house people. Just one instance of it. Governor Baker visited Father Bill's place in Quincy, the old building. They had some sort of agreement. They were given a certain amount of money. Like, this is like hostage negotiations, which is insane in itself. Okay. You're given this much money. You need to house this many people. It was about 120 people, and then you'll get the rest of the money. They did not do that. They were given $4 million, then they were given another $4 million, and still refused to house those people. That's on top of whatever Yawkey Foundation gave them and private donations.
Just sent you a link for a cleaner app for your phone.
Thanks, babe.
Actually goes through and force closes everything. And delete all.
Okay, yeah, it just came in.
It's the best one I've had so far. I just had it.
I gotta put some more stuff on this because I'm still cold. It's supposed to be 78 today, but I feel cold still. I wasn't even cold this morning when it should have been the coldest, but yeah, it was so funny because I walked over here and I actually found a pretty large stick that I didn't see before. And I said to Brian, "That's God for you," because he does that stuff. You find it when you need it, when he says you need it, and it burnt right up that stick. Yeah. Well, usually after 11, if you walk around, because people check out at 11, and then a lot of people leave wood because they probably face a similar thing when they get here. Um, People were leaving a lot of wood at Wampatuck too. Someone had to actually tell us one day because we hadn't looked. He goes, "Someone left a whole bunch of firewood over there." Oh yeah, just unopened packs of firewood and stuff. Because they probably come here and they try to start a fire and it won't keep burning because not enough air gets into these things. And then they realize it's not keeping them warm and stuff and they just give up. So I can understand. At first, I was like, why would someone buy that much wood and leave it there? And then as I'm doing this, you go, because before I was just burning enough to cook food, right? And then you go, yeah, I can see why these things are seriously no good. But anyway, in terms of your fire risk or whatever, why didn't you just do this instead of telling people they have to use propane? Is there a way to buy propane if you're a pedestrian, if you're a hiker? So, anyway, just to reiterate to the public that at least since 2020, when they started this COVID madness, they were paying father bills to put people in a hotel room in Dorchester called the Ramada Inn. You can imagine how much that costs, and they were paying a company to clean their rooms twice a week, do their laundry, their bedding, and their towels. And then they were paying people to make sandwiches, to make bagged lunches. They wouldn't let us bring any food in, and it had a microwave, a refrigerator, and a coffee pot. And that's all they fed us was lunch meat sandwiches. And I was there 3 weeks. My urine started to smell like nitrates. It never does that. Uh, I have liver and kidney disease. I'm not supposed to be eating lunch meat. And then they'd have 2, 3 meals in a row that were pork, and some people don't eat pork. Okay. It was seriously awful. I explained one of the dinners where I believe they were actually preparing dinners in a hotel room. I'm not kidding you. They weren't ordering it from a restaurant, where it was supposed to be like sweet and sour chicken, and they added more and more salt. So I'm sorry, sugar, so they could add more and more salt into it. Okay, so yeah, I was only there for 3 weeks and I was forced out of there. And then after I left there, I don't know if I had a kidney stone or something. I either severely pulled a muscle um, because they had us change our rooms and I had to carry all my stuff from one room to another. The place was set on fire twice. Okay. They were doing like just horrifyingly insane stuff where they were setting a hotel on fire, and then the fire department comes to rescue us, and then they'd set it on fire again, and then they moved us to another hotel. Just complete insanity. It was outright insanity. So anyway, during that time, I had to move my bags, and I don't know if I pulled the muscle or I had a kidney stone from all those nitrates, but I was in severe pain for a couple of days after I left there. I've never had that before or since in my life, where even like breathing in hurt. Um, so it could have actually been a kidney stone from them doing that to me. Okay, so I mean, I don't know what you need for attempted murder other than that. Plus, they were given letters and stuff from my doctor about my diet and everything, so they knew. They knew anyway. It's been on their records for a while. They have a copy of the ultrasound. They have a letter from my doctor that says low sodium diet for no reason. They literally, and it was the dead of winter, they literally would not let me bring any food in. I didn't even have to cook it. I couldn't bring my nuts and all that in. And if you don't understand why I'm talking about that, and you go, oh, nuts have nitrates, that is not artificial nitrates. The worst possible thing you can tell a kidney patient to eat is cold meat sandwiches and hot dogs. And they go on these rips where that's all they try to feed me. Okay. So your president is asking for the death penalty. Okay. I'm just repeating what the news was. Not I'm threatening to do anything. I don't have nuclear weapons. I don't have a firearm. Okay. I'm just watching the news program, and that's wit. That's what I think. And then people go and interview people as you morph and twist a new reality. Every time your leaders tell you what's going on, that is what you do. And sometimes the news media does it, and sometimes they just listen to what you people are saying because you have mental illness. Not they haven't told you. Did any of you Google Camilla Harris talking about crimes against humanity, or you just ignored that too, like Ron DeSantis, Casey DeSantis? That's targeting a private US citizen. That would be why you ignore it, because you know that that's part of crimes against humanity. You cannot target me and then decide that you're getting rid of Florida alimony because your wife was working with my ex. Hi, babe. They're on a news break. So, anyways, yeah, like maybe I'll use the laptop to try to look it up. I haven't even had a chance to talk to Brian about it because I got so frustrated as I was trying to look the stuff up. They have year-round camping, just so you know, and it's not all thousands of dollars like the places in Massachusetts try to make you think. They're in national forests. One of them $6 a night. People on Social Security can leave Massachusetts. My hearing is on November 4th. I can't see anybody but homeless people in our situation wanting to be doing year-round camping. So, in one sense, how are people being allowed to do that are not us? Why have we not been moved there? But you're still going to say that's not illegal imprisonment? Okay, well, I think your president doesn't agree with you, and neither does NATO, and neither does your former vice president. Yeah, I mean, clearly that's why live streams are good. If you're just like out of it and you're retarded, stop taking up space at these places. Because, first of all, we finally got like a basic income in Massachusetts. We get $400 a month after like net refusing to even give us a penny to live on. So now, if you folks are taking up $17 a night campgrounds all summer, you're taking up the national forest $6, $27 a night all winter. Why are you doing that? First of all, I'm letting you know why you're doing it. It's part of a disease where you're trying to occupy territory. And you're murderously insane. You know you're blocking poor people from doing it. If you're either in the military and you're given an assignment to guard national forests or you're paid to do it, you don't own that land. This is the United States of America. They're national forests and state parks for the people. You don't own it. Just the second they came up with this 14-day rule, people should have put a stop to it. I don't know how long they've been doing it, but it's been at least a couple of years, and the public should have said, you can't do that. What are you talking about? In all fairness? The fairness is a reservation window opens up and a person books it. That's the fairness. Okay? And that People who have housing in the middle of a homeless crisis don't go camping. That's fair. I specifically told the ranger at Wampatuck when I thought I was getting that apartment uh, that if I got the apartment, I couldn't see me continuing to camp. Get it? Oh yeah, just this business with the trailer parks too in the 55 plus communities. Oh boy, this is why you don't get medical care. I am not talking about people that don't like their Section 8 housing in their public housing apartment. Walnut, no lottery. I'm not talking about you people. I'm talking about street homeless people and people stored up in these shelters being run by criminals. That's what I'm talking about. And you don't care about a 14-day rule, and you don't care about why are we not being put on these campsites. Remember when all those people after Hurricane Katrina were put in those fucking trailers? What the hell is this? Somehow you had a land piece and you had funding to put all those people in a fucking trailer. So your president is asking for the death penalty. So then look at me and go, whatever. Apparently, they won't even interview you people about what do you think about homeless people being put on state parks and campgrounds for them to have a place to live and cook and lay down because they know they haven't done it either. So we're on this insanity about all these shootings that we don't even know if they're real or not. And we're shutting off my Twitter for weeks at a time again. So your president's seeking the death penalty. They're just not going to stop talking about it because they're in one of their panic things again. This is the second or third one this week, right? Okay. I don't even know if it's real. I don't even know if it's true. Okay, and you just go, okay, we get it. The issue about the camping and stuff for the homeless, what's going on with that since the winter is approaching? Like, are we all being nuked because you won't stop keeping these U.S. citizens hostage in these shelters and on the ground? Does anybody want to discuss that yet, or just do you want me to do it, babe?
Trying to make sure the lights are brand.
Okay, babe. I think it's funny because now the whole campsite seems like it's shaded, doesn't it? And before, like, there's no place here that's in the shade. And then when you want the sun to hit you, you go, the whole place is shaded. I don't want it on the tent, though. I just want it on me. It's not really about having these people gain logic, but for them to realize that they're clearly mentally insane and that they keep making up an excuse that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so again, after Hurricane Katrina, when God didn't care about black people, I'm sorry, when George Bush didn't care about black people, okay, when the Father God didn't care about black people, the dominant male, um, money was poured out and FEMA trailers were delivered. So, year, whatever, since 2008, okay, for me, it's been since 2011. Why are not just say it's that place that has to have, say it's got to be in Massachusetts, okay, because other states are not responsible, and now you're gonna fill up our state park with these people. um, why is the government not just putting a FEMA trailer at that place and paying the 1,300 a month for us to live there? So there is no excuse for it then. Correct? There's no excuse for it. It's all a bunch of crap where you keep making up stuff that there is no excuse for it. We are US citizens. We are naturally born US citizens. We are not immigrants. We're not illegal aliens. There is no excuse for it. How do you have a house, a trailer, and a pop up tent? You're mentally insane. And the president is asking for the death penalty because when you folks are keel over, you don't stop us from living anymore. You don't block a campsite. You don't hoard all the materials. You don't charge us for a trailer. You don't charge us for a rent. You don't buy up properties and rent them out as rooms. You're just gone and the space is available. Problem solved. So I can give you another timeline because Jenny Apple and her family were kind enough to give you 2 years of video blogs from her diagnosis with lung cancer to her death was 2 years. Okay. So another timeline is about 2023. I'm going back to when they moved from, yeah, because it was August of 2021. We had to leave Dedham. So from 2022, okay, a person began reporting achy joints. Okay. About what now, 3 months ago, because she already knew something was wrong before that. It was probably about, I think it may have been before the achy joints, actually. She began to complain about uh, bloating and a feeling of fullness in her upper abdomen. Okay. So by 2020, she's got achy joints. About uh, 6 months ago, because it's an ongoing issue with her bowels and she was told she had IBS, okay, she insisted to have more and more testing done. It got to the point of a near complete bowel obstruction. It's colon cancer. She had to have her colon removed. So, as this is going on, you have morbidly deranged people forcing people to sit up in a chair all night long. So, your president has asked for the death penalty. So, if you personally don't feel that you have some reason that you have become ill, I'm explaining it to you again for about the 15th time. You have people on a land piece being literally murdered sitting up in a chair by other people on a land piece. And no amount of money, no amount of laws, no amount of threats, no amount of yelling has got them to stop trying to kill us. So thermonuclear weapons have to be used to get rid of them. I guess a good question would be why the people of Quincy didn't completely flip out and get rid of that particular group of people, because God Almighty won't allow it. Most people here are not murderous, and murder is illegal. You go to jail. Are you starting to warm up at all, babe? I figured I'd try to cook something at lunchtime today because we have plenty of food. And it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we'll cook twice today. Ugh, I still feel cold. Yeah, if you're sitting there going, why didn't we do anything about this before or something? Because Almighty God won't allow you to war. And I just explained it. Everybody that does the law enforcement, okay, has been demanding from these people to stop what they're doing, and they won't stop what they're doing. Right? If you're meeting people like myself that had our houses illegally foreclosed and our children taken, and we have been homeless this long, you should be able to begin to get it. Yeah, just get it out of your head about illegal immigrants and foreigners and this and that. Just get that out of your head completely, okay? Because it's all different groups of people. Okay, it's not like a ship came from another country and they're taking all your houses. A lot of these people were U.S. citizens themselves. Okay, they're just criminally insane and clearly to the point of murder. Like, you know how you see a person and then they're sort of like out and about. They've got a house or an apartment or something in Harvard, and they're out at the library and stuff with their children, and you just go, I don't understand what this is because you grew up there and you know these people just got there. Okay, they're part of the criminal derangement. You can't do anything to them, and they sometimes will talk like they're regular, but they're also murderously insane. They see us all there homeless. They know all about the foreclosure crisis and the homelessness problem, and they just come here and buy property and live there right in front of your face. They're here to be euthanized. It's like a rat trap, it's a containment area. It's the hottest country on planet Earth. So you don't have to do anything to them, they're being nuked. Oh yeah, I told you about the walk in Canton. They're building monstrous mansions and all this stuff. It's Pompeii. They're in a rat trap. They were lured here by ideas about wealth, taking over the United States of America, making U.S. citizens slaves, just like any rat trap. A rat thinks there's food in there, so they go in it. I can only fathom the people in LA right now going $6 a night. What? Because they didn't know about this stuff either. If you live out there, it just opened up at 10 a.m. today. God directed me right to it. It's year round camping in Arizona. Just all of these people on Social Security that could have left Massachusetts at any time, and they were convinced to stay here and try to get housing here. A lot of people, a lot of people for years have gone, I don't understand this because it's difficult to comprehend people that are criminally deranged. They're murderously insane and they will lie right to your face and make up all this stuff. And they're all skitzed out in a delusion too because they're self terminating. They literally forced NATO to have to nuke them. That is what they did. They clean in the bathrooms or something. Doing something over there that's noisy. Yeah, I guess when they're done over there, I'll get dressed because I want to do my walk around for the after people check out to see if they left wood. I don't know why anybody would actually do this, but yeah, if you're camping, right? Don't if you're just going out for the day, don't just leave your wood sitting where there. Anybody would take it. Yeah, like I think even if you like reported that to the park ranger, they'd probably go, okay, so you left your campsite for the day and you didn't leave anything on your campsite but wood. Okay, like I'm sorry, but I mean, yeah, like I don't think that's really considered stealing. Like the person sounds weird, like they tried to set up a like a drag net or something. Yeah, because when someone asked when we were at Pearl Hill and the park ranger said that once they leave the campsite, it's open, whatever. Because we have no way to know that you didn't check out. Like it sounds weird. You had to have checked out, right? Because you wouldn't just not even leave anything but the wood. You took everything with you but the wood. I can't see that conceivably happening. And yes, people do it. Like, say you did something dumb like that, and then you came back and went, "Didn't we have two of those?" Because people come and tell us sometimes that are walking around. They go, "Yeah, that campsite over there has a bunch of wood," and then we go get it. Yes, yeah. When we go out, obviously our tents are set up, our stuff is on the clothesline. I mean, we don't pack up everything and take it with us. So the only way I could see that ever happening is if a person just pulled one of those RVs in and then when they leave they're in their RV and they never take anything out. Then why would you just leave your wood? Just take the wood with you when you go out. Unless they said not to transport wood. Really? I don't think they mean that. Yeah. So I figure that the people thought they were going to use that much wood because they're used to a regular campfire. Yeah. That's what I would say happened because it hasn't been like a bunch of rain where they were going to cook and then they realized that they didn't want to do that much cooking unless they were real tired and when there's no way I can't keep, I'm done. I would say that they got depressed. I could tell from the whole thing. Even the stuff they burnt wasn't burnt all the way. Yeah, that's what I would say happened. It's kind of sad. I feel their pain. And the other thing too is, and you can't, there's not a lot of kindling to gather around here. It's different than other campgrounds because that stuff burns better. It lights faster. It burns right up. These things are hard to get burning, and they don't stay burning. It's they just go to like ambers, but you have to continuously feed fire underneath it. You need kindling and leaves to do it. Yeah, 1 o'clock is check-in, and it's Thursday, and it's a holiday weekend. But I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow, the one directly next to us. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they're leaving Monday, and we don't leave till Thursday. If we were able to, babe, do you think if we were able to check that laptop top out again, we would have stayed here? Babe, Brian, Brian. I was saying babe like 4 times. Do you think if we were able to check out that thing again, we would have stayed here? Yeah, I don't know. Huh? No. Oh, it's because of the campground. Yeah. If we were at a different campground, you think we would have stayed? Yeah. He doesn't like this campground. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I haven't like booked any more nights or anything. It's just if we had been at Wampatuck, I would be really tempted to do it because we could just take the train even to return it. We could return the laptop on the day it's due. Yeah, it's the commuter rail right there. And he could have taken the commuter rail in that day to keep his appointment. So unfortunately, we've got to go back. So, anyways, I'm not going to think about it. It's a whole week, just a 1 day short of a week. I was joking with Brian before. I go, we'll see how long it takes back in the city before we go. Do you want to just go back to the campground? But like I said, even that is only another month. It's 5 weeks. So I I think it's like three. Is it 3 days to Arizona on Amtrak? Yeah, because I went to Albuquerque. It's 3 days on Amtrak, and then I don't know how you get to each individual campground, but Arizona comes before Albuquerque. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look at the map. Am I mixing it up with like another city in New Mexico? It went to Flagstaff, that train. Maybe it was after Albuquerque, and then it goes to Los Angeles. So people from Los Angeles can get to Flagstaff from on Amtrak. Yeah, and I'm sure they probably have buses too. It's probably the same type of situation. You hike or you take a lift from the nearest bus stop that'll drop you off. Well, you can see your therapist telehealth. If you can get a 90-day, you could leave for 3 months. So it depends on when you did it. If you went October, November, December, which would work out for us because our trip is we're supposed to go to New York on December 30th. And then on January 4th is our cruise. So we would go probably um, October, November, and December. That's 3 months. I know. And then people go, okay, so that's what you're going to do? And you just look at them like, I guess so. I mean, what the fuck? I know you just. This is why homeless people drink and do drugs. Just so you know, this is why quote unquote homeless people drink and do drugs. Because you people are so mentally ill. And then you go, okay, so that's what you're going to do. And then you don't have to worry about people fucking trying to murder us. You don't have to worry about why you're in housing and you have a trailer and a pop up tent. And you easily could have afforded to pay for our campground for the whole summer. You don't have to worry about that. Or like why you have a vacation house and a house. Or why you're getting flooded with money. Or why you got housing before me. You don't have to worry about that. You just go, oh, okay, so that's what you're going to do? Okay, so you're okay sleeping in the stairwell that smells like piss and shit? Okay, okay, okay. That chick carrying a firearm, by the way, from transit police. That's why she's screaming at us because God won't let her go blow your head off. I'm just letting you know. That's why she's showing up at a stairwell in her dementia, screaming the fuck at us. And then we leave, and she tells herself we went somewhere better instead of showing up there blowing your fucking head off, and then you expect her to go to jail for that. It is that. When they show up yelling and screaming at us like that, it, in the police too, because that is God making sure they don't go blow your head off. Because you're mentally insane people. You're criminally fucking deranged. That's why. What'd you do with your COVID money? What'd you do with my kids' Gerber life insurance policies? Well, you sure as fuck didn't put me in a trailer somewhere on a campsite or in a fucking room or get me health insurance. You sure as fuck didn't do that. You spent it on yourselves. Some people didn't. Like they may or not have like put me up, but they are doing like donation things for people that are homeless. Not everyone went woo and then just fucking bought a new car. Just I feel like sometimes, because I know this is definitely for me, the people that would actually help people with money, God won't give them the money. You know? I did. I specifically asked people not to spend their entire income on like giving money to a food pantry and stuff. Yeah, they've got to think about taking care of themselves. I have a feeling someone did it once where all the sliced cheese and stuff that showed up at the pantry, that's all I could think about, that someone went and just spent their entire income on that shit. I remember when that dude showed up to Star Market in Quincy, and because he couldn't hit on me and talk to me, he asked me if I paid for the food. All people can do is show up and yell at me, because otherwise they'd blow the guy's head right off, right? Come on. That guy I took pictures of and posted it, because he thought that was a pickup joint for homeless people, because that's where you go to fucking eat or escape from the cold. He thought that that was a place where I have to talk to him. So then he started insulting me and asked me if I even paid for that food. You wouldn't show up and go boom if you had a fucking firearm at that point? Right, because if someone was with me at the time and beat the fuck out of the guy, that person would go to jail for assault and battery. Just like someone showing up going, you don't have a house, to a disabled veteran. I'm supposed to have mental health treatment or go to jail and not have housing for 6 years and be street homeless. Not those people deserve to be punched in the fucking face. Just for that. The only one that was is the one that tried to sweep me, and it was like it's like self-defense. You're trying to fucking kill me. I have humongous cysts on my liver. Yeah, if one of them bursts, I bleed to death. Yeah. I'll just make up my own story. And then the cop showed up and just shot her right in the fucking head as soon as she started talking. Because I'm telling you that I did exactly what the cop did. And had that person tried to sweep a cop, you don't know what a cop would have done. It's called self-defense. That's called assaulting a police officer. I'm sure there's a term for when you ignore what a police officer tells you to do, like get off of the property. Get off of the property. You were standing in the woman's front yard. You were heckling the woman in her own house. Yeah, I guess in the future, yeah, please do talk to a police officer like that and try to sweep him. And then he can taser your ass. And then you go to jail for resisting arrest. Not you hound me. I'm not even going to get into it. Nope. But, anyways, just hopefully they're not doing stuff like that in Florida. Just, or Arizona or New Mexico. Yeah, just know this, your family member, and like I told them, your family member, I guess, would have to go up to the court and insist that the person that shot your family member dead, goes to jail, and not your deranged animals trespassing on people's property and heckling them when they paid off the banks. Why did it ever happen? Because you initiated yourselves being euthanized by your president, who's seeking the death penalty via thermonuclear weapons. That's why. That is wit. That is what I think. Yes. Not people were a failure or pussies or why didn't they protect us and stuff. That's the most protection you're ever going to get. A complete and total extinction of people like that. That's all eternity protection. They can never recoup and breed us out and all this other insanity. They just wither and frag, all their DNA just completely destroyed. What time is it now? Oh, it's after 11. Let me shut this off. I went past my time.